What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and the Phillies start off this series against the New York Mets by shutting them out 1-0. Aaron Nola's back, baby. Aaron Nola is back, baby. 6 scoreless innings. Man battled. The man battled. He threw a lot of pitches early on. He really settled into the ball game. Fuck his final inning, man, striking out a bunch of people. He was dialed in. It definitely was a really much a breath of fresh air to see that version of Nola on the mound today, to where he allowed some base runners, no doubt, but he didn't break. He bended, but he didn't break. And that results in him going 6 scoreless innings, something that this team really desperately needed tonight, especially with all the news before the game with the Trey Turner IL stint. Thankfully, it's only a grade 1 hamstring strain, so there's more hope with the injury rather than what the injury was that he had last season, where he was out for 6 weeks. They're basically expecting him back by the playoffs, which is a better of a bright sign for a Trey Turner. With the Alec Bohm injury, he's on the 10-day IL now because of shoulder soreness. I think they said like he had a cyst in his shoulder that needs to get removed or something like that, or drained or something like that. So he's going to be on the IL for a little bit. And then you also don't have Brandon Marsh in today's game because he has the flu. So I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for with this situation. So you definitely went into this game very shorthanded offensively, where you had to put Otto Kemp into the lineup, you had to put Edmundo Sosa at shortstop. You obviously have to play both Max Kepler and Nick Castellanos. And so you're definitely hamstrung there. You had to shake up the lineup a little bit, get a little bit weird with putting Bryce Harper in the leadoff spot, which I'm definitely very in favor of putting Bryce in the leadoff spot, but sadly Bryce didn't do much today, neither did Kyle Schwarber. But overall, offensively, I know you say, I can't really say they did what they had to do. They scored 1 run, but 1 run was apparently enough to beat the Mets tonight. It definitely was. Aaron Nola was good. David Robertson comes in. Unk still got it. Unk is dealing. Matt Strom, 2-out walk to Francisco Lindor. Bryson Stott with an amazing diving play at second base to rob Juan Soto, what basically saved that entire inning. And then Duran in the ninth got sketchy. It definitely did. The Mets were basically doing the same thing that they did in Citi Field, just basically swing and pray where the ball goes. Pete Alonso with the leadoff single, Vientos with the double the other way. Thankfully, that didn't score anybody. And then Duran locked in, got into a battle with McNeil, struck him out, and then Francisco Alvarez just completely sold his at bat. You didn't even need to throw him a strike. Literally everything on the outside part of the plate, he was swinging like Nick Castellanos. It was crazy. Thank God. Thank God that's the person you want up at bat to get out of the game. Francisco Alvarez, holy shit. That man sold hard. That man sold fucking hard. My God. My God. My God. You did your job today. You did your job today. You won the ball game. You won the ball game. It was a good win. It was a good win. Now, granted, yes, I don't like the way Kyle Schwarber is still swinging the bat. Well, not swinging the bat. I don't like the way Bryce Harper is swinging it, obviously. Those guys still really need to get going, especially without Trey Turner in the lineup for the foreseeable future, basically until the postseason. Yeah, those guys really need to get going. And I think Schwarber will eventually get out of this funk. He's had too good of a season not to get out of this funk. Bryce will eventually have his moments as well. I'm sure of that. It's you just right now you are getting contributions from other people in the lineup like Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader swinging the bat was very good today. Not on base paths though. Tried to stretch a single into a double, got thrown out, then got caught stealing second base. But swinging the bat, Harrison Bader has been very good for you, which is a very good thing. Nick Castellanos got the RBI today, so I guess good on him for when his number was called. Max Kepler also had a hit in this game. So overall, your bottom of the lineup guys were doing the job. But you do need Schwarber and Harper to show their faces in this series at least. Schwarber did just miss one. I think he got the end of the bat off of it, which obviously if he got the barrel, it probably would have went out of the ballpark. But maybe it's just that elusive trying to get the 50 home runs for Kyle. Maybe that's why he's slumping or something like that. I'm not sure. Or it's just like the overall case of he was overdue to slump very badly because he really hasn't done it all year. Um, Kyle will get out of it. I'm sure Schwarber will get out of this funk that he's in. Harper's had some good games. It's just like he can't string good games together. That's his problem. Like he'll have one really good game and then bad ones mixed in between. Then a good game, then bad ones mixed in between. Good game, bad ones mixed in between. He can't put a string of good games together. And also his numbers with runners in scoring position in the second, well, since the All-Star or since since the trade deadline or since the All-Star break have not been good. They have not been good. So Harper really needs to get better in that aspect, which I'm sure he will. But right now, I don't want to dwell too much in the negative because you did get a win. You did get a win. So that's the most important thing. You got to win in this series, which obviously I did say they were going to. Most people are saying at least you need to split this series, which I do believe the Phillies are capable of. Obviously, they do have, now Ranger. They got Sanchez. They got Luzardo in the next 3 games. So I do think they will split this series at least. It's just that can you find a way to win 3 of 4? So at this point, you just take it one day at a time. And for the love of God, can you hit Sean Manaea tomorrow and Ranger Suarez? Do something there, please. Do something there, please, Ranger. And Ranger has been doing more than not. I would just like, let's also get a dominant Ranger Suarez tomorrow. I would like to see that 100%. And I do need the offense. And granted, I understand the offense is very underhanded right now with the injuries. So is there a sense to give him a little bit of a break? But you also do have Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper in the lineup too. So you need those guys to do their thing. It's just that you can't, even though Bader has been amazing for you, honestly. It's just that like I want to give them the break because they are missing so many bodies, but I also know like Bryce and Schwarber are also capable of carrying this offense. So I need those guys to do their things eventually in this series. I need them to show up in this series. And will that happen? Maybe. I do think Kyle will get out of this slump, like I said. And Bryce, like I said, he has mixed in good games. It's just that he can't stretch good games together. That's been his issue, besides the runners in scoring position. But today your pitching was very good. Duran battled in the 9th inning, but he found a way to get out of it, which closers do. Your Robertson continues to be solid for you. Strom looks like he's finding another gear in his arsenal, which is very huge for you as well. Nola was very good. We can't understate how important Aaron Nola was tonight. He was like, no one was expecting Nola to have the start that he would have had today. Everyone was expecting him to blow up in this. And granted, he was a couple of swings away from that too in the first inning. Juan Soto crushed the foul ball near the 3rd deck. And then Brandon Nimmo hit a warning track shot to dead center field that just died right at the fence for Harrison Bader. So he definitely was close to that, but Nola really settled into the game nicely, and he did battle in some innings, but overall, his pitch count was high in the first 3, but he still found a way to go 6. Shutout baseball with some good stuff there. So I'm proud of Knowles. I'm proud of Knowles, as an Aaron Nola's been. So Nola's full stat line: 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts on 94 pitches. Thought it was the right time to, let him go off on a high note. No need to push him into that 7th inning. Very good call by Rob Thompson to go to your bullpen. David Robertson, a 1-2-3 7th inning with 2 strikeouts. Unk was dealing. He threw 9 strikes on 11 pitches. Matt Strom, he allowed the 1 walk to Lindor, but overall he did his job as well. Bryson Stott also with the major defensive play over at second base against Juan Soto. Duran, he allowed the 2 hits, but he also struck out 2 at the same time on 14 pitches. So he found a way there. And just look at this. You're a top 3 in the lineup. Like I said, your bottom of the lineup did majority of the work today. Your top 3 of the lineup went 0 for 10 with 2 walks. And then, Kepler went 1 for 4. Bader went 3 for 4. Castellanos 1 for 3 with the RBIs. Stott 1 for 3. Sosa 1 for 3. And Kemp 0 for 2 with a walk. You went 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, and that lone hit was Castellanos's. So your bottom of the lineup did work today. So good on them. And when that run came to, I did call him Monk. I did call him Monk, man. I did call him Monk. Run comes in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kepler with a leadoff single. Bader with a single that moves Kepler over the 3rd base, but he also got through out trying to stretch it into a double. Bader, that was. Then Castellanos brought him home, and that was your lone run of the ball game. JT had a 2-out walk in the 3rd. Nothing happened there. Bader with a leadoff single in the 4th. He eventually got caught stealing. Stott did reach on an infield single. Nothing happened after that. Bottom of the 5th, Kemp with a walk. Schwarber with a walk. JT grounded into a fielder's choice, and then Kepler struck out. Bottom of the 6th, Bader with a leadoff single. Nothing happened after that. 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. 1, 2, 3 in the 8th, and that was basically your game. And then just look at the way Nola was for tonight. Had the walk to Soto. Besides that, nothing. Nimmo, like I said, had the warning track shot that died at the wall. Top of the 2nd inning, McNeil reached it on an infield single. Beatty with a single, so you had 1st and 3rd. Then he got Cedric Mullins to strike out to end the inning. Top 3, Alonso with a 2-out double. He gets out of that. Top of the fourth, a 1-2-3 inning for Nola. Top of the fifth, Beatty with a leadoff walk, and then he got the next three guys. Well, actually, Aaron Nola picked off Beatty to end the inning. It went to a replay booth, and they got the call overturned. Top of the sixth, Nola strikes out Soto, gets Alonso to fly out, then strikes out Nimmo. That's how he would end his game. Top of the seventh inning for Robertson, he sets them down 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Obviously, the rest of the bullpen, like I said, they did what they did, and they did their jobs today, which I will give them credit for. So, good win. It's a good win. And in terms of now with the standings, you would be 8 games above the Mets, and I believe now your magic number for the National League East is down to 11 games. It was at 13 coming into the night, but obviously when you play the Mets, that obviously if you win, it decreases by 2. Since you win, the Mets lose, obviously. So now it's at 11. So that'll just continue to go down, and we'll see what we could do the rest of the series. So, yeah, just keep on doing your thing. Keep on doing your thing. That's the most important thing. And if we go into tomorrow's game, obviously, like I said, that is Ranger Suarez going up against Sean Manaea. Besides that one start he had against the Phillies, Manaea has not been good. He really just has not been good. He's 1-2 with a 5.6 ERA. Just hasn't been good. Has not been good. So your offense really needs to get to him. They just really do. But I understand the offense is now like shorthanded with all the injuries now. It's crazy. But it's also crazy. The Mets are 10 games below 500 on the road. They're 31-41 on the road. That is crazy. That is also something that is crazy. And in terms of the standings right now, in terms of your lead against the Dodgers, so you're now 4.5 ahead of the Dodgers, and depending on what happens in their game tonight, I believe they're playing the Colorado Rockies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's not until another 20 minutes. So another 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. So you won't know what happens with the Dodgers until later, but who knows with the Dodgers, because they have been losing pretty badly. They have not been playing good baseball. They're 3-7 in their last 10, even though they're very good in their home ballpark. Well, look at the Dodgers too. They're very good at home. They're not good on the road. They're 4 games below 500 on the road, which is crazy. It's just baseball is weird this year, man. Baseball is weird this year. What about the other teams that are fighting with the Mets for the wild card spots? What are they doing? The Reds, they're playing the Padres right now, and the Reds are up 1-0 in the first. The Cardinals, they just started their game in Seattle, and San Francisco has just got underway with Arizona. So those teams are underway, so you won't find anything else there. But obviously the Mets loss tonight helps those teams in the wild card race. So in turn, the Phillies are helping those teams out. But yeah. And then obviously for the rest of this series, Christopher Sanchez is going to be pitching on Wednesday. Who he will be going up against. I believe he's going up against Clay Holmes. And then Thursday is Luzardo against Peterson. So, we'll see. But obviously, like most people say, you got to win at least 2 games in this series, and you're setting yourself up for that, at least by winning this first game, which is the most important thing. Got to give all the credit in the world to Aaron Nola, man. Got to give all that credit in the world. Just, felt good. It felt good. It felt good, obviously. So, it was a good thing. And good on Duran for fighting through that adversity with the top of the 9th inning. Because obviously we know what the Mets did to him last time in Citi Field. And it looked like it was going to be a little bit of the same with the contact and the way that the Mets were just swinging the bat against him. But he settled in. He held it together, and he found a way to get out of it, which is very good there. And your bottom of the lineup was doing most of the damage in general. So overall, I'll give the bottom of the lineup a good for this game. I need Schwarber and Harper to do more, though. That's where more of the criticism comes from. I think it's more just you need your guys, your top guys, to step up, especially when Trey Turner, who has been basically the most consistent guy for you the past like so many weeks and basically the entire season, when he goes down, I need those top guys to step up. So when a couple of guys go away with injury, you need your other guys to step up. Your bottom of the lineup did step up. Bader's stepping up, obviously, as well. And also Castellanos with the RBI, so that's also huge for you. But you do need your other 2 stars that are in the lineup to get it going. So Schwarber has to break out of this slump, and Harper has to find a way to get some consistency. Because I don't think Harper's in as bad as a slump as Schwarber is. But like I said, Harper will have a good game and then he just can't find a way to string good games together. It's a good game followed up by a few bad games, then a good game followed up by a few bad games. He needs to string consistency together. That's the problem. And Schwarber's just been a very bad slump. So those guys need to break out of it. Those guys need to break out of it. So overall, it was a good win. It was a good win for your Phils. So we'll just wait and see where everything goes from there. Let's see. Let's see. Don't think there's anything else in terms of today's game. The Cubs also did lose to the Braves. So I don't know if that means anything for the wild card standings. I just don't know. I don't care about the wild card standings right now because right now we're continuing to maintain that lead in the NL East and also fight for that bye week. That's the most important thing for this team. They desperately need the bye week, especially now with all these injuries. With Trey Turner's injury, that gives, if you get the bye week, that's an extra week off for him most likely. So that would be very important. Even with Bohm's injury, that gives him an extra week. Gives your pitchers an extra week of rest, which they probably desperately will need. So a lot of that stuff is very important for this team. They really need it. They really need it. And like I said, they need to win at least. They need to at least split this series. That's what they need to do. So we do have a voicemail here in the Anytime Hotline. So we might as well get to that. It's from Sean. So let's get to that. Let me bring it up for you people. And I'm not sure if anybody's watching Monday Night Football. I think it's in halftime right now, and it's like a very low-scoring game. Vikings and Bears, which is probably not shocking. But yeah, we'll see. I also have to finish Monday Night Raw, and also had to wait for Brodes to upload his video, which is not doing it for a little bit here. So yeah, let's get to Sean.
That's a gut check win for the Phillies tonight. If they had lost that game, you still have a comfortable lead in the division, but doubts against the Mets really start to creep in. But Duran was able to hold on, and the Phillies were able to manage this victory, considering the lineup with what they had to work with and the pitcher they were facing. Although I thought there were opportunities to score more, you got the job done. Credit to Aaron Nola, definitely, most likely, his best start of the year. On paper, it was a game that heavily favored the Mets, so to get this win to start the series, that's huge. But I'm greedy, You can basically wrap up the National League East lock, stock, and barrel over these next 3 games. Let's go out there and get 3 wins. Let's really put the hammer down on this team, send them packing. They've had our number for years. Good time to get some get back, win the National League East this week before you head out to Los Angeles for a tough trip out there next week.
I do appreciate the confidence there. I do appreciate the hungriness there, Sean. I'm trying to think so after tonight's win, the magic number's at 11. Like, just say scenario-wise, if the Phillies were to find a way to sweep this series, that would be, if they win tomorrow, that would be 9. If they win Wednesday, that would be 7. So magic number would be down to 5 if they were to sweep the series. So, yeah, that definitely would help. So if you win 3 of 4, your magic number's down to 7, which is still very good. So, like I said, I think just with the hit you've been taken with the Turner injury on the IL, now with Bohm, even though Bohm really wasn't helping you that much, he was basically just grounding into double plays at the end of the day. That's still a hurt to your lineup because that forces a guy like Otto Kemet to the lineup because he just got called up. You had to see Sosa, even though Sosa, like last year when Turner went down, he had a very good stretch for you, but Sosa did have some pretty uncomfortable at-bats today, so hopefully he could just find a way to build some confidence or something like that and maybe get some good swings tomorrow or something. We'll see. It's against the lefty tomorrow, and Sosa is traditionally better against left-handed pitching, so we'll see. Like just the cards that you're dealt with right now, like I can't fully demand sweep, but hey, if you have to win low-scoring games in this series against the Mets, I'll take that. I will take that. And that if that results in you splitting, if that results in you winning 3 of 4, or hell, even sweeping this series, I'll take that any day of the week. But right now, take it one day at a time. Win tomorrow's game, you're guaranteed a split, and then you go on from there. You win tomorrow, then you could talk about winning 3 or 4. If you win 3 or 4, then you could talk about possibly sweeping. But right now, you take it one day at a time. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. It's the way I'm looking at it. I can't go too further into the future with that. I just can't. I just can't. It's crazy stuff here, though. But it is a good win for the Phillies. It is a very good win for the Phillies. We do have some Trey Turner comments actually from John Clark. It's a 21-second clip right here. We might as well listen to that.
I mean, as soon as possible, obviously, but more importantly for the playoffs is obviously I think the most important. So trying to find that fine line of trying to get ready for that, but also not rushing it back and coming back for no reason. But yeah, shooting for kind of playoffs, if not hopefully a little bit earlier, but probably more towards that playoff.
Which it does make sense for Turner, because say most likely within the next week and a half or something, the Phillies are most likely going to have this division wrapped up, I would say. So in theory, if you were to wrap up the division sooner rather than later, basically the only thing you would have to worry about is the bye week. And I think you can survive that without Trey Turner. I do think you can survive that. It's getting into the postseason, getting into that stretch where you wouldn't survive without Trey Turner. And it does make sense for them to take it easy. No need to rush him back. And granted, it's not as bad as the hamstring strain as he had last year, but you still don't want to take any risks to make it any worse than it already is right now, which is not as worse as it was last year. So that's the bright side of this entire thing. But he is doing the smart route. He's not going to force himself back into a situation where he doesn't need to be back. So you just take it day by day and see where it goes. But most likely, you probably won't expect Trey Turner to be back until most likely the playoffs. That's probably where we're at right now with Trey, which is probably the smart thing to do. Bohm, he probably comes back once, this whole shoulder situation is done with the cyst and everything, and that gets drained. But he does have to miss 10 days, so we'll see where that goes. I would assume 10 days puts him around, would that be next week at some point? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be the last game of the Dodgers series. So you wouldn't see Alec Bohm until most likely that series finale. So it's going to be a little bit of a stretch here without those guys. Not sure when Marsh is going to come back from the flu. Obviously, that's still a tough thing to come back from, being sick and all that crap. I'm sure he's not even with the team right now. He's probably home trying to recover from whatever he's dealing with. Obviously, he played yesterday, so something had to spark up on the way back to Philadelphia. So we'll see. We'll see. But good win tonight. It's a good win tonight. It was a very important win because, like Sean said, if you found a way to lose that game, then once again it lingers. The Mets are in the back of your head. So it was a good find a way to get through that game and find a way to fight through that adversity and getting that W. So now it sets up the next 3 games to where we'll see what we do here. So yeah, I'm proud of them tonight. But I do want to see more. I need to see more from Harper and Schwarber in this series, because if Harper and Schwarber start going, then I'm more confident in this series. So also, I would like to see Ranger Suarez pitch well tomorrow. I would like to see you at least guarantee the split tomorrow. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a big response from the Mets tomorrow. I would like to see you put your foot down and you take another win and you guarantee that split to where you shoot for 3 of 4 on Wednesday with Christopher Sanchez on the bump. That's what I want to see. So that's what I need to see at this point. So yeah, I think that's where we stand on tonight. And it's funny too, in terms of just the views on the channel, on the video and the stream right here. Obviously, probably not, even though I got 8 people in here right now, I've had 32 views in total. I appreciate the guys that are in the chat right now, Austin, Franco, Julian, and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys being in here. But of course, if the Phillies were to lose this game in the fashion that they might have with Durant on the mound, I'm sure it would have been more jam-packed with viewers, with me probably freaking out. But I take this. I take this. I didn't watch the game. What was the deal with Alvarez and Sosa? So I think it was Sosa had a pretty ugly at bat. He struck out on a pitch in the dirt, and the ball, I guess, got away from Alvarez, and then, most players these days don't even try to run the first base before the catcher tries to tag them or something or the catcher tries to throw him out. So Sosa was basically already in, I think, the process of walking back to the dugout or talking to the umpire or something like that, and Alvarez tagged him. And I guess Sosa didn't like the way that he tagged him, or he tagged him too hard or something like that. I guess Sosa just took offense to that. It was something minor, so it didn't really, still wouldn't right. It didn't mean as much as the game went along. I guess at the end of the day, oh, there was a pick six for the Bears. So the Bears just got a touchdown. J.J. McCarthy threw a pick six, 17-6 Chicago. Interesting. But yeah, that was basically the entire extent. There really wasn't much more at all. So what else? Alvarez sold hard. Oh yeah. Alvarez is a bigger drama queen than McNeil. Bader should start Bader at this point is starting every day, so you don't have to worry about that. I think Bader has basically solidified himself as the everyday center fielder. Nick is way too slow to be worth a damn. Well, the only thing that sucks about that part is now with Marsh out, you're forced to play Castellanos. I know they did call up somebody else with Kemp. I forget who it is, but I doubt he sees playing time much, especially with a lefty on the mound tomorrow with Minaya. I'm not sure what they do there, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Who knows? So it's interesting. We'll wait and see what happens there. What a pathetic at bat by Alvarez at the end. Yeah, he sold. He definitely sold. Duran did not have to throw a strike in that entire at bat. Neither did Robertson, even, because Robertson also faced Alvarez and struck him out pretty easily. So it helps. I wouldn't be too concerned with Schwarber. The slump that he's in has been pretty frustrating, no doubt. But Kyle will get himself out of it, I think. Kyle will get himself out of it. The Mets have been metting all season. It's about time they did it here. Take a dub, however we have to get it exactly. Yeah, second seed is definitely a must. It 100% is. Go into the game tomorrow, so hopefully the team can provide more offense. It is going to be a good pitching matchup, hopefully. Hopefully they fucking hit Minaya. I wonder if the Brewers don't cool off all the way back to a second place finish in the NL. I don't think they'll cool off that much. Hello, Shoko. As she's trying to... There she goes. She was trying to jump on the bed. She was trying to jump on the bed. Yeah, Texas was up. Yeah, I did see Texas was up. They're up 5-0 on the Brewers now. Texas has very good starting pitching. It's just their offense is not good. But granted, they're winning 5-0. But overall, we saw that in the series with the Phillies and the Texas, that Texas's offense wasn't good. So their pitching is very good. Their offense isn't. I don't get Schwarber. He hits 4 home runs in our RBIs in one game, and he's been worse ever. It's just maybe it's just as simple as he's trying too hard to get home run number 50. Maybe it's as simple as that, and maybe once he gets the 50th home run, maybe everything just relaxes for him. That is a big milestone, so who knows? Maybe that's just as simple as that. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see once he eventually does get 50. I don't think Schwarber's going to go the entire month without another home run. I just don't see that happening. I just don't think it's physically possible for Kyle Schwarber to do that. So yeah, I think that's there. Phillies are 11 games for winning the division now. Phillies are 11. Well, a gray goose can still be a golden goose, as proven tonight. I guess it's about David. The 50th home run will be an inside. Oh god, that would be fucking hilarious. If there's something that I really do want to see, it is a Kyle Schwarber inside the park home run. That would be the most hilarious thing in the world. To somehow how did this dude get a fucking inside the park home run? What ballpark would he need to be doing that in? Obviously, even though he can get a triple, luckily at Citizens Bank Park, he'd have to be very lucky to get a fucking inside the park home run at Citizens Bank. What ballpark would he need to play in to get the inside the park? Or what's one of the deepest yards, I guess you could say? San Fran, maybe, if he hits it off that high wall and it takes a weird carom. What else? Maybe Boston, to where you hit it into that weird part of center field. I'm trying to think of like maybe Colorado. because that's a deep ballpark. Not entirely sure. That'd be very funny though. That'd be very funny though. Wasn't able to go tonight because I am sick, but they won, so that's all I asked for. I'd rather they win from my couch than lose from CB Rankin. They blew the game against the O's after having a no. Oh yeah, Dodgers. Oh yeah, that was crazy. That happening. That was crazy. What else? What else? What else? I think my thing just completely skipped all the way down. Would rather have a fully healthy Trey Turner rather than mostly healthy for the playoffs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Phillies position players development, Jesus Christ, Miller and Crawford have to hit because who else? Well, they did just call Aiden Miller up to AAA, and they just called up 2 people to AA, I think. So Aiden Miller was actually having a very good month of August, like insanely good, and he also got up to a very good start in September as well. So I guess that's why he earned the call up. I know a lot of us try to theorize like, oh, is this maybe like a safe, like maybe like a risk just in case like the Trey Turner injury is worse or something like that. Like would they risk it with an Aiden Miller and something like that, and just like maybe they give him a few weeks in AAA and then they call him up after that because he still would be eligible for the playoffs because of Turner being on the IL. Looks like that's probably not gonna be the case, but if he can prove that he can hit AAA pitching. Obviously, that's probably where he's going to start next year, unless he's fighting for a roster spot in spring training. Just hopefully you can build off that in the next season for Aiden Miller, because definitely would like a prospect like that to hit. Except, also like a Justin Crawford as well, if that's the case. I know they also call up somebody else. I think it was like a Rune Escobar, and I think Dante Nori. I think those were the 2 prospects that they called up as well. Like those guys were hitting good in single A or high A, wherever they're playing at, Clearwater or something like that. So those guys were going good. So now they're getting their taste of AA ball. A lot of people, I believe the Arun Escobar, a lot of people compare him to like Jose Ramirez, just like, I guess, physical wise. Like he looks like Jose Ramirez, and maybe, I don't know, it's prospects, so I don't know. He was hitting 421 in August. I know it's AA, but he was on fire. Like he was very good in the month of August. Very good. Very good. He also steals a lot of bases. He definitely does. That's like he has 50 plus stolen bases this year, I believe. So he's definitely a threat on the base paths. But overall, good game. Last comment here. I just want to see plate discipline improve as it has been over the season. That was my biggest gripe from the past. Got to get Kevin Sosa in the clinic. I think Sosa, that's just who he is. Same thing with Kemp. They're just free swingers. That's just overall who they are. So, we'll see. We'll see. But a good win tonight for the boys. Let's try to guarantee that split tomorrow with Ranger on the bump. And for the love of God, hit Sean Manaea. Like channel your inner Reese Hoskins in Game 4 of the NLCS. Find a way to build that up from within. Go watch highlights of fucking Reese against Sean Manaea in the fucking NLCS and channel that somehow, please. Just fucking grow up and hit Sean Manaea, please. But appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal, don't pass it up. So, we'll be back tomorrow, after tomorrow night's game, hopefully after another win. So, thanks guys for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you then.